And here are the tomato plants I just put in today. And those are the ones I got from the nursery. And you can see next to them are the red lettuce, survived the frost. There, the up in the upper left-hand corner, the peas and beans. And over here to the right are just a mishmash of oregano, onions. There's some parsley there in the middle. It's just stuff that kind of regrew, reseeded from last year. Some people call them volunteer plants, but whatever you want to call them, that's that. These are right in front of my little mini greenhouse, which you can see in the background, those the corrugated plastic. And the roof actually, the rain comes down right on that big, circular bush of oregano. So it gets plenty of water. You can see a couple insects. And then inside, there's a few plants I have inside the greenhouse. This is some newer plastic, so it's more see-through. The older it gets, like the roof of this greenhouse is almost white due to sun bleaching. And there's, of course, my lounge chair. And here are a bunch of peppers. There's some banana peppers on the left and some jalapeno peppers on the right. And this one in a cage is, I'm not even sure of. It's something I grew inside my porch. And there's another lettuce plant there. For some reason, the red lettuce and green, like leaf lettuce, got mixed up. I must have put the seeds together when I was putting them in. I don't even know how that happened. And you can see there's some insects flying around because I have some compost that I put in today, which has pretty strong kind of a manure, there's such a word, smell to it. So that's drawing some bugs. It was really hot today in the sun, and yesterday the sun was out. It's actually, even though the nights were cooler, so I'm hoping the soil temperature is warm enough, and certainly today I was out there. I've got I definitely got color on me, and it's some kind of like mutant marigold plant on the corner here that I also grew inside from the seed. I have a ton of seeds from those things. It's just that they don't produce flowers till they get about 4 feet tall, which is ridiculous. And then, of course, again, the classic lounge chair where I bask in the sun in the summertime and get my suntan. I've got two of these. I've got another one of these in the garage. And in that garage is my workshop, kind of gardening supplies place, man cave-ish. I put a little bar in there, but only it got used like twice, I think. And here's another look at the greenhouse. You can see I still have some stuff in there that I just have no room in the ground to plant. And I even put in some planters on my front porch, some zinnias and marigolds and some other thing that I failed to label, but I think it's a flower. I hope it's a flower. But that's the mini greenhouse. It's kind of a neat little thing, and it's worked out well. It held back on the cold nights. That's where I was storing the tomato and the pepper plants, so they did okay. And you can see there's my bag of soil that I kind of used up the rest of it today. And over here, some more lettuce, various lettuce plants. And they're doing fine. In fact, I'll probably start next week picking off, a leaf from, say, each plant or so to make a salad. That's a volunteer potato plant there. So I put some other potatoes in the ground next to it. I figured why not? We'll grow potatoes there though that's not the only spot I have potatoes. But again, you can see the lettuce, some of the lettuce got mixed up. And I've got potatoes mixed in with, that's a volunteer potato plant that just seemed to grow up right next to one of my lettuce ones. And these are volunteer potatoes too. So there must have been like little slips, potato slips in the ground, but they're coming up pretty nice, so what the heck. And behind this board, my little walkway, the boardwalk, on that burlap is where I've got some squash zucchini. And I'm hoping, it was the end of the last seeds I had, so I'm hoping really that they take. But they were out when the weather was 39, so near frost, so I don't know. I put 2 more tomato plants in here. I had basil and thyme in there, but those plants just didn't make it. And, you know, I never really grew thyme before. Basil, I think I have basil seeds. I think I'll grow some basil in the greenhouse, and I'll find a spot for it. In the center here is parsley, and to the right is sage, and the little plants there are cilantros coming up. Though I have some more mature cilantro in a couple other locations. Back behind this this oregano, there's some cilantro in the left-hand spot of that, and next to that overgrown marigold, you can see there's some cilantro there on the ground. I also put some potatoes towards the front here where that tall grass is. And of course, this is the kale, which is looking healthy. I think we'll get a good healthy yield of kale this summer. There are carrots in this to the right. I am not worried that you could barely see them because last year it was kind of the same thing, but then by the fall, by the end of September, I had like these huge carrots. So I'm sure, you know, hey, I'd be happy if I get a dozen or so carrots. This is the stinging nettle, which I cut down after I did this. That stuff just grows crazy. And to answer your question, I still haven't made my nettle tea yet. Here is the radishes, and I have already plucked a couple, and they taste really good. They're not bitter. They're like very mellow. You could almost just eat the radish by itself, because it almost gets buried in the salad. And that's the potatoes, and we're going to end with my apple tree. Thanks for watching. Cheers.